Welcome to the Golden Feather. Grab a pint, a plate, and pick your seats. Hosts Vertec and Chibi Bree are back from their latest adventure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Golden Feather. Today is episode 97, OMF Gourds, with our guest OMFGoddess. And OMF, by the way, in the Gourds means only the most fun gourds. That's all we want to see. That's it. But
Hello.
Speaking of our guest, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. I'm having a good day.
Good days
How
are
about y'all?
great.
Doing all right,
Me,
all right.
Fantastic, except I woke up this morning and I was still not super rich. So, I mean, there's that.
Well, I don't listen. If you wake up rich, you might have to ask the question of, oh, nah, who transferred money into my account wrongly?
If I spend it quick enough, they'll never take it back.
You can't take it from me if I withdraw it.
Oh my gosh.
True story.
Welcome, Horrendous, for a 13th month. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Oh my goodness, 13 months.
I know.
You, sir, are a superhero. Thank you for coming by again.
If you had OMFG Roar in here, you'd have the whole set.
Yeah. Got all the OMFGs. True story. But for those who don't know you, Ms. Goddess, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, let's say, who are you, what do you do typically, and what brought you to Ashes?
Sure, actually. Hi. Like I said, I'm OMF Goddess. But I generally go by in the community by the name Karma. In the Ashes community, Karma Sutra. So, I am a Twitch streamer. By day and by night, I am a secret ninja assassin, and by that just means I secretly eat snacks. I am a ninja with taking chocolate, and I assassinate food.
All right, so we'll get along fine. We have similar interests here.
This far, I have to say.
No, I'm a Twitch streamer through and through. I used to work in game development for about 5 years until COVID had issues and people started laying off. I've worked on a couple MMOs and stuff like that, but hopefully I will get back into it soon when people are cooler and more comfortable with the sort of more remote industry. But yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I think places are kind of getting used to that idea.
Yeah. Cool fact about me is I actually have a disability. I don't know if that's a cool fact, but a cool fact, I'll call it that, is I play video games with one hand because I was born without the use of my left arm and hand. So I kick ass with no shoes on or gloves or however you're supposed to write that, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's cool, because I was actually going to ask you for some input on some of that stuff here a little bit later on, like what your take is on Ashes and...
Oh, absolutely. I am fully ready to commentate on that.
Man. I'm sorry. Dante says I bought a really nice roguelike game in Steam called Boyfriend Dungeon. Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, that was me. That was...
Boyfriend Dungeon.
Yes, I played...
I'm almost scared.
Who did you romance?
I actually... So... Spoiler alert, close your ears, but don't actually close your ears. So close your brain, keep your ears open. I actually liked the scimitar. He's like, it's like it had like curves and it was like red and black and like it's super seductive and like you could cause bleed damage and stuff. And I was like, oh, this seems super cool. But it turns out he's just an asshole. It was another guy that was really cool. He was very business executive and he was like a rapier and he's really cool. Like the builds were super cool. It was really fun. It was a really nice way I would say it's a way to date your weapons. Yeah, the S-Stock guy was probably the best one. But I really like Sunder. Sunder was his name in the game, and he had a bleed damage. He's like where if you hit them, they did bleed damage. If they hit you, they got bleeds put on them. It was a really nice way for to be able to run from things and then fight things and come back and forth, because when you put the damage over times on them, you kind of just, you know, they end up killing themselves. It was cool.
So is this like taking after like the Soul Eater anime where like people turn into your weapons?
Yes. People. So
Okay.
it's based in a city in California, and people have started turning into weapons after some magical thing happened, and you can date them. So we're called a wielder, and our partners, whatever our significant others are, we go on dates with them, and then we become their wielder, and then we go into a place called a dunge, which is short for dungeon, and we go and we fight enemies, and that's how we make our daily money to survive in the corporate world, because corporate pays you to clear them out, right? So
All right. Interesting.
Honestly, like I saw a streamer doing that one, and he really was like cringing every time. We're like, yeah, let's go to the dungeon. He's like, why are you calling it that? Like, no, just call it a dungeon.
And Z over here says that she saw your interview with someone she can't name right now, and it was super eye-opening.
Oh, you can't name them because you can't say their name, or you don't remember their name? Because I can tell you who it is.
Yeah, I spent like
Maybe
50
all of the
hours on
above,
it. I still
yes.
don't know if it was a dating simulator pretending to be a roguelike dungeon crawler, or roguelike dungeon crawler pretending to be a dating simulator.
It's a roguelike dungeon crawler that's meant to be a dating sim. Mazriel. It's Z who you're thinking of as Mazriel.
Sorry, D something M, I mean, love you, Z.
But yeah,
Never
it's
change.
actually a really fun game. You might like it, Chibi, or Vertec. It's a really fun game. They have and it's very inclusive too, like to having people who are, you know, pure male, pure female, and in between characters. They're, you know, they have all factions of life are represented there. You could date whoever you want and take them to the dungeon, and it's a cute little game, I would say, for sure. For just something to spend a couple days on that you want to do and really enjoy yourself for a weekend. That's a pretty good game.
You know
That
what
should be
they
the marketing
say.
splash right there.
Oh yeah.
Date someone, take him to the dungeon.
That has a different connotation in certain
Yeah.
places.
You know what they say? Weapons come in all sizes and shapes.
True.
So, I have a bunch of stuff that I found on the forums, but we also wanted to cover a little bit of BCG's interview with Steven for his 100th episode. Don't have to have seen it. We were busy and we just unfortunately had to miss it. But the takeaways from it are pretty nice. I really enjoyed finding out some of the lore. As always, whenever hello, Ashes Nair, welcome in. Whenever Steven is on somebody's podcast, there's bound to be some lore leaks, and I'm sure Miss Maggie is just going ballistic behind the scenes, like, why did you say that? Not yet. No.
Not yet. We wasn't ready.
Is it bad that I've been conditioned by PvP games to like not really read the story? Because they don't really put input into the story. Like BDO, when you ask BDO, longtime BDO players, what's the story of BDO? They go, I don't know, I just pressed R.
That's fair. No, that's completely fair. I mean, there's a reason why it's for everyone, right? But when
That's
I say
honestly
lore,
how.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's gonna be me with Elion when it launches, because they have some horrendous voice actors, and the story is so weird and off the wall. I'm just like, I have fun playing the game, but the story stuff is just awkward.
Just not for me.
Absolutely. I played the beta, I think beta, alpha, insert Elion test here. I'm just like R. Oh, realize it's not R. F.
Well,
Dante,
you
yeah,
see-
we'll get to New World.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. So I was gonna say one of the biggest takeaways for me from BCG's conversation with Steven was they're asking, so like, how does the cannons work on the ship? Because there's no gunpowder, right? And Steven's like, okay, so you know how you have the potion launcher weapon? Think of that, but like super big. Essentially,
Oh
is
my
like
god,
how
I'm
that's
yelling at
gonna
all
work.
kelps. Welcome, Raven.
Welcome in, glad to see you.
But yeah, I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Oh, and the only other thing I really took away from it was somebody trying really hard to get their ideal like cat girl waifus, and Steven was like, yeah, no, if there's gonna be cat people in here, it's gonna be very realistic cat people. Not
like
the
from
kind
the
you're
movie,
used to.
from like the play, The Cats. Do you remember like the musical?
Oh,
like
yeah.
when they had the
Oh,
ears in
yeah.
their face. Where I'm imagining that, and I think that'd be super cool.
The story of BDO is obvious. It's about the struggling shop that players try to save by buying underweights and pay-to-win items. Right?
True.
Not wrong.
Yeah,
not wrong.
he's not wrong. Not at all.
Okay, so I'm gonna save this to kind of group up New World conversations later. But so obviously Ashes of Creation is built on UE4. And people are always asking, oh, are you guys going to be on UE5? What, like UE5? So somebody was like writing about like how amazing UE5 is and how they'd love to see Ashes get on it. And I remember talking about this last year when it came out. And thanks to Diggs, they reposted Steven's response saying, "We always keep up to date with the latest and greatest from Unreal. We'll be evaluating UE5, of course, but we aren't yet certain on the technical limitations for our custom engine changes may present when considering UE5. But it does look like there's definitely a lot of interest there,
Yeah, I think it's one of those they're just afraid of all the changes they'll have to make. They'll probably put one guy in a room just with UE5 starting now until whenever they can figure it out.
I would imagine them forking it and then being like, okay, we're going to put you in this room, put it in UE5. Let me know if anything explodes.
Yeah. Your job is to make this work. Ready, set, go.
You even have a UE5 strike team started, though. Yeah. The one Friday I didn't work because I got hurt, so I had time to watch. Oh, man. You guys played Potion Crafter Alchemist Simulator? I imagine brewing a potion of libido and using it with a potion launcher on somebody. I've never actually played that game, Dante.
Yeah, I hope your ouch gets better there, Raven. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't die, so, call it a win, right?
Yeah. I mean, workers' comp, right?
True story. So, I guess the other thing that I thought was actually kind of interesting, especially considering who we have on. Well, wait, you said, were you trying to save the New World stuff for later? We could just get all that out of the way, right?
I was just wanting them to be together instead of we go like New World and then something different and then back to New World. I just wanted all of the topics to be like, cohesive.
There we go. Because I figured since Dante's asking, we'll go ahead and get it out of the way. But, so, Miss Goddess, there's this post on the forums that says, I hope AOC won't be completely figured out even before it releases like New World was. What? So, coming from two people who have not played New World, like I got an alpha invite and then like it went to hell in a handbasket and I basically said, yeah, I'm not touching that because it sounds disastrous with everything I'm hearing, and I just haven't picked it up since. But what was figured out with New World? Like literally everything? Did they beat the game already?
No, not in that sense. What they did was they figured out the combat system, so people were able to, who choose to, were able to min-max accurately to kind of beat up mobs at the highest level, right? So people figured out how things works, like how skill things work together. For example, if I use, like, say, a hatchet and it stuns, I can quickly switch to my hammer and use get the extra damage from that CC to cause them, you could roll through it. Like, the combat is what got figured out. The game and its like lore and the stuff behind things, that's all still a mystery because there's things that go on. But it was mostly sort of a numbers thing that got figured out about how much damage this weapon does with this combo, working with this, do that, and etc. And I mean, I'm okay with that because I'm a player who likes to have my combat figured out, because I find the challenges in working with other people, because I generally like to play as like a team player because I'm naturally a healer. Like right now I'm holding my like life staff in New World as I sit here because I'm trying to skip the queue, you know what I mean, by staying in the game forever. So yeah, I'm sitting here holding my life staff, sitting in my server looking at it and going, man, leveling as a healer is hard, but it's a good time. I enjoy knowing the combat because it doesn't become a mystery to me. When I get beat by someone, I can understand it because I can see it written out on a spreadsheet instead of going, wow, they must be really good. You know what I mean? Like it makes counter. It makes it, if it's when it's written out, it makes it doesn't make the game have a mystery to it. You know that if you get beat, it's because the person actually was better, right? So you don't, you know what I mean? It's not like, does mine not counter this rel, or is he the counter to me? You know, like the rock, paper, scissors ideal of like how most games have. You can know that this guy beat you because he just played better, right? And I think that's what I appreciate about like that combat system being brought out. But I'm also a PvP player. It could be different for PvE. So that's at least my take on it.
Okay. So, because I was curious if it was something like, because I know Steven is talking about with Ashes, he's going to be holding a lot of the story stuff and the real spoiler-ridden lore to either like right before launch or like spread it out over a lot of time, and some stuff not even talk about it at all in any way until after launch, and then you have to find it before it's talked about by them. So I don't think, if that were the case with New World, that everybody found all the stuff and completed all the everything, that would be an issue with Ashes.
No, I think especially with how Ashes is a multi-changing world, New World's very static. Every server looks like this, just A, B, C, and D are owned by different people. Do you know what I mean? Where New World is, hey, people read this lore and World's like, oh, hell nah. This is a cult, and a whole bunch of new players riled together and destroyed this cult. And, a couple days later, that cult would have like summoned the dragon, and then there would have been a dragon on the server within like the first week or whatever. Like the story is going to be ever changing. So I think lore actually plays a part into the actual gameplay, where it's your more theme park MMO. Please come into our theme park. Please follow the lines that we have. Please enjoy your rides. Where Ash is like, ayo, throws you in, hey, good luck. We'll be over here. You know what I mean?
Here's a field. Go explore.
Theme park. Theme park is more like what New World is. You get guided. You have in game. That's when people start to get created. But Ashes of Creation feels like a Dungeons and Dragons session where you log in and your characters and you're like, okay, today we are going to do this, and they're like, okay. They're like, you've run into some enemies. What are you gonna do? And the bard goes, I would like to seduce the dragon. And you go, huh? That's kind of the feel I get for Ashes. There's so many paths that you can take. Things are gonna change. Where in like the theme park, you automatically go, here's dragon, we fight dragon. Here in Ashes, you go, here dragon, we befriend dragon, we live next to it because dragon will protect us from the other enemy guild that's on the other side of the hill, right? That's what you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying with Ashes, and I think that'll be cool. Even if the combat does get figured out, I don't think it's going to take away from the game.
Yeah, honestly, I think even in PvP, even if quote unquote combat gets figured out, that's why So I think we had this talk a couple times on the show. Like, what do you think about a meta developing in Ashes if it's going to be rock, paper, scissors, and they're not intending to balance 1-to-1 on everything?
I will make it. I will be making the healer meta. It's going to happen. I'm going to actively work on it. I am a healer. I like to produce strong. I like to see strong healers because as a PvP player, you have the Triforce. You have your people who are your CCs, your tanks, your absorbs, your general supports that don't do anything but support the team. Then you have your, as Asmongold puts it, your big dick DPS, right? And those are the people who are there to tear down your enemies, while you have the healers who are there to keep everyone alive. I fully believe having a good trifecta is what's important, and a lot of people can heal. Picking up a healing weapon and pressing healing buttons it's not hard, right? But knowing the combinations of what to do in what order for that little extra bonus is what makes you a better healer. And that's what I want to teach people in Ashes and help them learn that. Like in the alpha when we were playing, because we could talk about that now, right?
Yeah. It's a fun change.
When I was playing, they had a heal over time. People would throw that one heal over time and put it on people. It stacks up to 3 people. Like you could cast that heal over time 3 times, by the way. Like there were things that people just didn't know that are just little nuances that could make things better for them, right? I like to make sure that everyone knows the full fine print instead of just reading the whole contract being a healer, right? That's what I like to do. So I think it's going to be fun and interesting to see that. And I'm definitely sorry for whatever meta I create as a healer, because it's going to happen. I'm going to post it somewhere and people will be like, I like that build, or some guild I'm going to join is going to have it. And then I'm going to stream it. People are going to see it and they're going to be like, oh, wow, she didn't die in when 3 people are trying to gank her. I like this build. What's your build, Karma? And I'd be like, well, So I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry because it gives you a challenge.
Join my Patreon and I'll give you my full guide.
No, see, I the amount of times people have told me I should do that, and I'm just like, no, I think information should be, I'm very much an information-free person. I think knowledge is power, and if everyone knows about something, then you're not in a power struggle. So when you beat someone, it's not because you lack knowledge or they lack knowledge, you just know it's because, this is gonna sound really cocky, but because you were better. You either, pulled a strategy out of your magical rabbit hat and did something they didn't expect, or they accidentally fumbled finger a key, right?
Yeah. Even playing ground.
Yeah.
Rule number 1, don't talk about alpha. Rule number 2, you don't talk about alpha. Rule number 3, go to Nala.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
Yes, Nala. Nala got me level 6 within a few minutes of being there. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah. That's the only thing that I felt bad about with the alpha is with the number of restarts and how little game time that we had on it. Only Orcs is the only fans of Ashes universe. Oh lordy.
Oh man.
Oh lordy. But we ended up getting super busy with work and whatnot, so at times we couldn't really play at all, and it was just always starting over at 1 going, Alright, now it is. I was trying to resist. I was trying to stay in the starting area and keep starting over, but I could only do that so many times before I got to experience other stuff. I got to test the other things.
Absolutely. Sometimes the chess, and what I really appreciate is, I appreciate when Steve would give us max levels and throw us into Siege. I'm interested into this game because I like PvP. I want to play with this. I want to find this, right? He gave us max level. Cool. Now I can go to these in-game level areas that he has. Well, I say in-game, but for the scope of the test area, right? It's in-game. So I get to see all these mobs that I generally wouldn't have seen. I get to explore these dungeons. I mean, literally, we got to do a raid with a dragon. And we got to kill the dragon, and we got to see the cool dragon loot, and then we got to do the other dragon world bosses, and we were doing cool stuff with that. That's stuff we wouldn't have seen if he hadn't power leveled us, because ain't no level 7 gonna walk up to that dragon and go, hey, we're having it in, you and me. Adrian's gonna go, who are you? And then bite you. And then you're gonna be like, no, my toe. You know, and run away.
My
Like,
toe.
Oh my god. No, I'm not reading that one.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Laura. Dante, my lord.
there's the one from Questing. No, it wasn't Questing Stitches. There it is. Yeah, you have it. Smartest man alive.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's also one on Reddit. Someone was talking about a comparison between New World and Ashes. What do you think would be what you would call your favorite parts of each that you kind of wish would be in the same game? Or even the one thing, or multiple things for that matter, that New World does you wish they would drag over to Ashes?
New World has a lot of nuances to it, and so does Ashes. So I'll preface it with this. Okay, so I'm prefacing it with that. Each one has their own directive and their different games, but I think the environmental sound design in New World is so good. I love the fact that I could hear someone shooting a musket at someone or something and not see them, but I could hear the gunfire, right? Like the sounds have a range on them. The closer you get to them, you know, the louder they are. You can hear PvP fights and never see them, so you know there is combat going on in the open world. I love that about this. Like when I'm out running around and I hear like the warhammer slam into the ground and I hear like the crumbling rock noises or the ting of swords hitting each other, whatever, I go, oh shit, there's a fight. And then I start wandering around to go look for it, right? Or maybe someone's in trouble and they're fighting a mob and I'm like, well, let me come help, right? Like I am actively looking for people in the world because I hear those auditory cues. And I think that's absolutely amazing. And I think that's something I hope Ashes does. And I think that's one of the most well done things for New World. The sounds for gathering, like the little rustling of leaves when you harvest, or the chopping of trees. The chopping of trees is so good in this game. I could literally do it for hours and not be bothered. It's almost like an ASMR with how soothing their sounds are and how good they are. Like they got the tree crack when it falls down, beautiful. The sound design in this game is actually one of the highest like merits I would give this game.
Right? Have you played ESO?
I have.
Okay, so you would like it more than ESO?
Yes, I think I like the sound. I like the sounds here because they feel more realistic in a sense. Like they're if sounds could be crisp, do you know what I mean? Like the sounds are much more crisp and vibrant here. Because I mean, you're not really gonna hear a warhammer from 40 miles away, but in this game you can. And in the cues of it happening, like I could hear a gatherer, like say I'm hunting down people who are PvP flagged, I can hear a gatherer chop down a tree. Now I know that there's someone out here gathering that I could go and maybe kill, right? Like, you know, the auditory cues are something that's super helpful in this game, and I love it.
The whole if a tree falls in ashes, will I hear it?
Yeah,
kind of feel.
I think the other kind of selling point that I'd put to this game is probably the fact that the healing in this game is not, it's not hard to get into. It's not, there's not a, like anyone can, healing is not exclusive. That they have, you have weapon-based skills and not class-based skills. And I like that the most because I'm a person who doesn't want to have 36 different characters, right? Like some days I want to play a DPS, some days I want to play a healer. And I want to have that one character and have them be able to switch those roles. I don't want to have to log on to, I don't want to have to log on Karma 1 and then to heal and Karma 2 if I want to play a little DPS. With the raid, or Karma 3 if I want to go out and gank people, right? I want to be able to go, okay, today we're healing the boys in PvP, puts on big healing staff, right? And then when I want to go
our chat just broke Bree.
Oh no.
Okay.
And then like if I'm going out fighting with the boys, I'm gonna put on my sword and shield, right, and go and take along with the boys, as the protector. I may have going out ganking with a few friends. I'm gonna take, my bow so I can shoot people in the butt, surprise, right, or my super daggers, right, and sneak up and be like, noises included, by the way. And stab people, surprise, from behind a tree or something. Like I want to be able to have one class that can play everything, not be able to play everything, one character each, because WoW has that problem. I had 32 different characters in WoW because I wanted to be able to experience all the classes, and I kind of don't want to do that
with
Ashes, but
yeah.
I appreciate that at least you pick one class and then you can interchange the 8 secondaries, you know what I mean, to how you can change how your class works, which I think is kind of cool. But I don't know,
it changes the flavor a lot.
Absolutely. I like how it like you pick a class and base and it changes your base's flavor, which I think is a good medium between them. But I'm more of a one character can play different roles, so I don't have to have like 40 different characters. I like the weapon swap base of everything, but
yeah, see, that's at least. Oh, you go ahead.
Go ahead.
Ladies first.
I think it'll be interesting. There you go. Go for it.
See, it was a whole lot quick. I was gonna say that that's something that I kind of grew to enjoy about Final Fantasy XIV is the ability to play any of the classes on the one character.
Yes.
I didn't really appreciate having to carry all the gear. That was kind of a bummer. But when going different classes, I mean, at least that's the trade-off, right? You can still change the class. But at the same time, like I see where Steven wants to go with it. So I'm begrudgingly okay with, like you were saying, being able to change the secondary at least, and change your augments, because you could have. He clarified on the interview on BCG's interview with him. Our BCG Stackerson, I always have trouble with his name, and Yoni. He had said that you can have multiple options for augments on your skills, but you can only have one on every skill at a time. So you could switch it up a given situation, just the augments, let alone changing your secondary. There's actually a good variety, I think, of different skills and ways of going about doing whatever job you're supposed to do. So I'm okay with that.
I agree with that. But before we continue going forward, thank you so much, Ashes and Air, for your resub as well. We appreciate you. 5 months goes by so fast. Yeah. I just want to make sure that was addressed before we go into the next topic. But following that topic about the archetypes, in the live stream with BCG and Steven, they also were talking with Steven, saying things like, do you think we're going to hear about more archetypes before Alpha 2 or soon? And Steven was saying, yes, like the plan is to get more information out there soon. And for those of you long-term Ashes fans, Nodes 3 has been said to be released at the end of Alpha 2.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
the next Nodes. Yeah, and
I was just gonna finish saying that's when that's when to get your Nodes 3.
Finally, Nodes 3.
Finally.
It's on the horizon, kind of. But
for those of you
I'm
who
kind of
don't
interested.
know, what are Nodes 3?
So Nodes.
The longest running meme in Ashes.
Currently, yes. Oof. Ouch. Anyway, Nodes is a 4-part series. He has done 1 and 2 a while back. 3 is something that's coming up, and they actually did tell him, by the way, would you be interested in updating 1 and 2, because it's been a very long time? And Steven was responding with like, yes, like I think that would that's something I could potentially do, just because maybe the information has changed in a way or another. But he did, knowing about that whole nodes 3 meme going on, of like send nodes or whatever, was responding like, by the way, there is a 4th one still, so you'll still be waiting for another nodes video.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I was wondering that because I knew it was a meme in the Ashes community, so I was like, what's nodes?
Send me your nodes.
But yeah, so for those that don't know, it's just the best and longest running meme. Well, actually, I don't know. Did Sandals come out first or Nodes 3?
Sandals definitely came out first.
Sandals definitely was first, but nodes probably has acquired more prosperity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
People
good word choice.
just joining knows what nodes are, but they don't know what the whole sandal meme is. Which I think has also died down because Steven can't actually wear sandals, I think.
Meow, meow.
It didn't tell me about my links. Your one doesn't exist. Maybe mine is apparently real. Oh man. But what was I gonna say? Something along the lines of archetypes. Yeah, you know what? Brain fart is gone. That's fine.
Here, I'll try and help. You were talking about archetypes and how he was going to introduce more and descript more from BCG's stream. He was talking about it?
Yeah, I just didn't know where else I was trying to connect that to outside of that. I was like, I was going somewhere with that. But yeah, the dots, they were waiting for too long. They just left.
That's what happens. But yeah, that's going to be nifty.
Yes. We were talking about endgame stuff earlier, right? There's this other post asking, how would you like endgame PvE content to be implemented? And because Miss Goddess, you are a PvP finesse, how would you like endgame PvP to be implemented?
1v1 me, bro. Fists only, no gear.
You're going to be the healer fighter is what you're saying.
Right.
Hey man, yeah.
I was gonna say, if I'm a barbarian, do I get unarmed combat bonuses? Or unarmored? But
no, I really do believe that in-game PvP there has to be some sort of competitive news. There has to be something that's worth it to lose to want to PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Like in New World, we have a city, we own that city, we get taxes from it, right? Mm-hmm. So that means that we get money. That money pays for our stuff. We want to fight it because we want to keep that income, right? With people owning cities here, and I think, does the cities generate money in Ashes?
Yeah, I think it unlocks whenever you get a mayor.
Do you say the cities generate money? How do you mean? Because they do collect the taxes.
Well, I mean, what I mean is like when a guild owns a castle, and then does the city generate taxes, and that gets paid to the guild for owning the castle in that area? Or like, what I'm trying to say is there has to be some sort of I wouldn't say reward, but some sort of gain from having PvP. Yeah. Or otherwise people will just fight each other to fight each other. Right now it's just fight each other to fight each other, and there's no actual gain because you can't take, in the alphas, you can't take castles. You know, nobody owns cities. There's none of that fun stuff. So PvP right now is just kind of, you said I was ugly in the Discord and you didn't like my avatar. And I remembered you said that from 3 years ago. So you're getting a meteor to the face. Like outside of that, there's no...
Going after you, buddy.
I'm coming after you, Tiger Lord 27. You know, like, it's so there has to be some sort of plus to PvP, otherwise we'll not do it. New World has where guilds own cities. Everything you do in the city has a very minimal tax to it, and you get paid that tax to your guild, and then the guild can do payouts to its members.
Oh, okay. Ashes and Nera says,
Yeah.
I think the guild owning the castles do get rewards. And Horrenda says caravan attacking and defending has rewards also.
Yeah, the caravan stuff is going to have its own separate... apparently part of a progression is also to attack caravans. So there's some kind of progression path somewhere where if you want to follow that progression, you're going to have to attack a caravan at least once. And I know the castle stuff, I know that it will collect taxes from like a certain region around it. And that will also lend strength to the zone of influence for the node that controls it. Or the node that controls it will get a benefit from the castle being stronger. So there's that. And then the guild, gets some kind of reward. I forget exactly what was said about what the rewards are, but yeah. They get a payout of some sort or another, for sure.
Oh, sorry. Just popped in my head. The archetypes thing. Steven says that we'll get information on the archetypes, on most of the archetypes within 3 months.
Yeah. I'm happy to see that they're still working and pushing to get all of the archetypes out there for Alpha 2. I want to see more stuff. I really want to see what they did with Bard, although I know we're not going to actually see what they're really doing with Bard in Alpha 2. It's going to take a little while longer, but I just want to play it, just to be like, yes, I smashed somebody with my guitar.
I think a really good take on Bard is how Monster Hunter World did their sort of support, where you played notes and your notes were actually attacks that you swung at people, and if you performed a certain amount of notes in an order, it was considered a song. And
That's
then it gave buffs to everyone around you.
Oh, okay, you mean me. Got it. Ah, that's adorable. It's their little lizard. It's so pretty. Here, I'll just send it over to you since you're the one streaming, if you want to share it. But also just so you can see. By the way, for those of you that haven't caught us in a little while, Vertek and I made the swap. He's now officially streaming it, and I'm doing all of the social media stuff, for the most part. So. Yeah. There you go. Enjoy the lizards.
Lizard.
But yeah.
Oh, little guys.
Yeah. I think there'll be a lot of interesting things coming out of Ashes coming up in the future. I would love to see how Bard is done. I think oh, she's a big dragon. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, little in a cosmic sense, as far as the scope of the universe goes.
Yeah, clearly. That's exactly what I meant. I think there was a mess up on the link that I had. But at least I have it down here because we have the wrong link for this one. That's okay. The Voxov thing. You put the BCG thank you for 100 twice.
Oh, did I? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's okay. I just fixed it. Our favorite person ever, Voxov, in terms of comic books and comic strips, made yet another comic. Super excited to see them adding more. And don't worry, Z.
He's back at it again.
We didn't leave you out. We have a huge, we actually have a list of your art that we're wanting to share off. So, just wanna remind you. OMFGoddess, are you a fan of Borderlands?
I played it a little, but not very much. I never really got into the Borderlands series. The art style actually didn't...
Like the cell shading kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of cell shading. I like vibrant games like BDO. BDO is really pretty. So is New World. ESO is really pretty too. I like those sort of strong graphic games.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can dig cell shading in certain specific instances. Borderlands happens to be one of them, but most of the time it's yeah.
Oh yeah,
And,
I can see. I think of Maya, right, Dante? Sorry, go ahead. That was faster than typing it.
Yeah, and like the last Zelda game. Why am I drawing a blank on its name? The
Breath
one
of the
we
Wild?
have on the Switch. Yes, the Breath of the Wild. Like that type of cell shading. I like it. But yeah, most times I don't either.
Oh, well, I thought you were looking at colors. Jeez, I'm sorry. So, drum roll. The reason why we're called OMF Gourds is Ashes released their glorious gourds details. And I actually, here is the direct video of their glorious gourd detail video. For their contest and sweepstakes. As always, they have the virtual as well as real life. So if you are an artist, you can make your art of the pumpkin. If you are a physical artist, you can make your art out of a pumpkin. And they have some interesting prizes. They have, let's see, a gaming chair, a mechanical keyboard, another mechanical keyboard, another one, and another one.
And
okay,
another
geez.
one.
Okay,
And
this is how I'm
another
gonna do it. Gaming chair, mechanical keyboard, gaming mouse, optical gaming mouse, vintage logo hat, vintage logo lanyard, vintage logo mouse pad, and Alpha 2 access is the highest total score across digital and physical, I guess. Or highest.
What if I'm a
total-
commission artist? Like, not like I do art for commissions, but what if my art is commissioning other people to do art for me?
Yeah, that's a good question. There'll be 10 winners overall will be selected for the contest, 5 from the physical entrance and 5 from the digital entrance, but it seems like their little sweepstakes thing got cut off awkwardly. But the categories are glorious prize, gorgeous prize, groundbreaking prize, grotesque prize, and gleeful prize. So those are the things to enter. And there's also your sweepstakes entry options must be submitted via the Gleam.io submission panel, which is located in the link I gave you. I wish I could enter, but we don't have gourds in our country. That's okay. Vertec and I usually forgo entering and just, enjoy watching everybody else's content.
Because we're no good with actually making the art stuff, so we just enjoy everybody else's, because you all put out so much wonderful stuff.
Yeah. But it also includes the sweepstakes for those of you not able to do the art things like we are unable to do the art things.
I'm gonna be jealous about that Scimitar Pro, by the way, whoever gets that.
Right?
Been meaning to try that one out. We
Here,
are
I'll
rubbish,
just-
see?
I'll take you guys straight to the Gleam.io. There you go. Go straight there. Enjoy that. But yeah.
Can't
And
compete with the likes of you, Z.
I'm sorry. But yeah, that's pretty much like the biggest information outside of the 100th episode of BCG that I could find from Ashes, which is important because it's October 1st. And welcome to Spooky Month, everybody, because it's I wonder how
You could
often
officially start decorating for Halloween and it not be
Exactly.
considered weird. But
You
if
know
have
what?
Christmas decorations out, I'm judging you.
you
Just
know
letting
what
you know.
I'm just saying.
here's my explanation. If you can have Christmas stuff starting right after Halloween and going into whenever the fuck it is you choose to bring it down, I'm
Like
allowed
March.
to start Halloween early, okay?
No.
I'm allowed to do
Mhm.
that.
Listen, if you have Christmas decorations out before like Thanksgiving, you deserve to be put in a box and
I mean, I
sent,
agree, but
sent
I'm
in the
just,
mail to Santa, and you can live up there.
I agree.
It's
I
true.
just say like those are probably the same people that are judging us from a distance. Like, hey,
Can't have Halloween. No, get out of here. I will. I will. Listen, I live Halloween all the time. Just look at this gothic attire I'm wearing. Like they always think they're like, so wait, why do you dress like that? It's not night for Halloween. I was like, listen, just because I like the color black doesn't mean my soul is black. God. There's actually a
Wow, that's not
streamer I
very goth of
watch.
you.
Yeah, I know, right? I like to call myself a powder goth. I add a little bit of color every now and then.
Nice.
Nice.
So no, there's a streamer I watch. His name is the Loyal Patriot, and he plays a lot of Daisy and stuff like that. And he throws. There's this guy that will every day come into his chat and go, "Hey, LP, I just want to remind you, it's 178 days till Christmas." Or like, whenever he pops into chat, he'll do a reminder of how many days till Christmas, and we're just like, bro. And it's just kind of like a running joke in the stream chats at this point, to remind people of Christmas. And he has like his whole stream channel, because the guy streams himself casually, and he goes just has Christmas emotes that he'll come and do it, and it's kind of a running joke for it. So I mean, I get it.
That's fantastic and terrible all at once.
If I see a Christmas tree before Halloween comes out, I'm kicking it down. It's getting a roundhouse kick.
I was telling GB we got to get decorations for the house that are like multi-assignable color LEDs, and just get some year-round decorations and just staple them into place and just never take them down. Just change the color every month for the holidays.
You just use the little like app on your phone just to resting color will be purple and pink. Just saying. By the way, those are some links you guys should check out of Z's art. Wonderful, wonderful art. The first one I sent out is actually probably one of my favorites. It's a remake out of clay of the like druidish like shoulder. Oh my gosh. Druidish shoulder armor, and I really like it. I think this is one of my favorites because it combines like that druidic, like living off the land with the iridescent foliage that they have in the game. I think that's my favorite part of the game, is just where like the plants are all lit up. It looks really, really cool. The second one is Z's recreation of one of the, I guess, freeholds that they had in like the deserty area. I think it's is this out of clay or is this out of paper? Because I'm thinking it might be out of paper, given the texture.
That is out of Minecraft.
The second one?
I'm looking at the wrong one, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, no, the third one is definitely out of Minecraft. So it is paper. Okay, I thought so. I was like, the texture on that, I don't think that's clay unless you like really imprinted the clay with the texture. But the last one, I didn't see this, but this would be a good tavern overlay for like a freehold or something. That looks really, really cool. Magical voxel. This is really awesome. I like it. So yeah, those are the things that Z made, and I wanted to share with you guys.
I got him pulled up. I'll go ahead and actually show. Sorry, I was dying. Don't die.
Oh yeah,
don't die,
no, don't die.
Whatever you do,
I know you're
don't
not
die.
feeling well. Feel better soon. Oops, why did I make that red? That was awkward. There we go. But yeah, see, oh, so pretty.
A talent,
them.
a talent I wish I could have, but I cannot.
Right?
Yeah, I know, right?
But it's fine,
I was
because I'm the better couch potato, so deal with it.
I was was telling some friends, I was like, my Twitter feed is literally filled with video games that I like and art, and I just sigh over all of it. Just video games.
Let's
Art.
sigh.
I can't draw very well either, but I'm really good at telling people what to do. So is this the part where it tells you to draw stuff for me? Or
Yeah, exactly. Z, when you taking those commissions, come on, get snappy. Let's
See,
go.
you can jump on my bandwagon. Like I said, be a commission artist. You develop the art of commissioning. That way they get exactly what you need drawn. Right out of your mind.
Yeah. Oh man. And then somebody off of Reddit, I'm not saying their name, made a bard and ranger as a bow singer.
Well, you can say the name.
No, I'm good. You can say it if you really want to. Here's the link. I'm sure you guys will all see it there.
Yeah, it's I dig this meme because it's, well, for one, because it's funny, but for two, because I find it funny, and I'm going to find it funnier when people come up with all the different variations of bard this and bard that, and actually make use of them and give them all their own crazy names.
Oh yeah, I agree. On that thank you, Trigger.
Yeah, there you go.
That reminded me, so on the 100th podcast, Steven was finally asked in person, why did you name one of the classes Tank? And his response was, in most games, you don't say, hey, I need a paladin, or hey, I need a fighter, or hey, I need a warrior. Everybody's like, hey, I need a tank. All we need left is a tank, looking for one more tank, etc. So, string theory. So because of that, they were thinking that naming a tank class a tank, then it made sense. It worked well with what the class is supposed to do. And he went on a little bit more than that, but finally we have our long-awaited question answered of but why a tank?
See, but then how did the cleric name make it through that filter?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Maybe if we get Steven on, we can bring that up and be like, remember when you were on BCG's podcast?
Yeah. Because, I mean, there's only one like main healing class, there's only one main tanking class, but they only named one of them by their role instead of
by an
actual
name.
like thematic name.
Yeah.
I believe the person who played a cleric, considering our benediction whip, probably he's like, we should make you should make cleric just healer, and they went ka-cha and like used benediction on him and said, you stop that, Steven.
I like
Okay,
that.
fair enough. We saw in alpha that tanks can't hit for jack. We have damage output like a wet noodle, so I mean we probably tried to look threatening.
And clerics out here swinging around wet noodles and halving people's HP. So yeah.
And also giving tanks back some rage.
Yep.
What would Johnny Sins name his theory if he was a scientist? Oh, that's a good question. All right, so OMF Goddess, is there anything else that you want to chat about? Anything Ashes related that's like, in your mind?
Kind of, because I'm kind of in this place right now. I don't know the best way to look for a new guild, and I think that I've seen a lot of people be confused about guilds. Do you look for one now, while it's still in alpha? Or do you look for one like 2 weeks after the game has come out? People are kind of, set in their places. They're not moving around. We're going to go here. Things are not in an upheaval. Do you look for it then when the guild is situated and go, hi, I'm looking for a guild? Or do you get your foot in the door like while you're in alpha and like build up your repertoire with the community that you're going to be with?
That's a good question.
So my take on it is this. I mean, we were lucky and we bumped into, people that we really like, and, they had a guild going, and we're like, hey, it's a win-win here. But if I were looking right now, I would look right now because, for one, if you get in early, you develop a name, get to know the people, all that stuff. Get to play games with them, see how they play, build some strategy with them if you play some other MMOs that are going to be similarly themed. And then if that guild goes to poop, you jump in another guild after launch and you're like, hey, I got a story for you. I was trying with this other guild and stuck with them all through alpha and all this and that, and then just it burnt up. So, and you got stories to tell to get you in with the new guild.
That's fair.
Maybe games has changed me, but yeah. I was reading your chat too. I kind of agree. I almost feel like I feel like at the time, like, especially being an officer in mini guilds, because like I generally have a personality of when I go into a game, I have a more passionate presence in video games. So I'm always there. So I end up in like officerial or mentorial positions. So I see like in build guilds, and I almost look at it and I see some fizzle out, some stay, and some grow. And some fizzle out, and I'm thinking here going, and like as I'm playing New World right now and seeing all the internal problems at launch, people coming and going, I'm almost leaning more towards the part of play the game, hang out with your friends, get to like your happy comfort level where your character, you're sure what you want to play while you're playing, and then look for a place to call home, because then you're not dealing with the emotional turmoil, because some people get invested into guilds, you know what I mean? Their loyalty goes, I am here, this is me, I'm invested in this guild, right? And if your guild, say, loses a member, or you guys know, it's his own, and because people tend to get comfortable and they become creatures of habit, right? They go, okay, this is our home, things change, and if you're constantly doing things like in the first week or two, because obviously that's going to have that be, because we're going to have to grow the world, it might be best to wait till everyone's set into their place before you kind of put yourself on the chessboard.
Yeah, that's a good point. For me, I do follow Vertex like frame of mind. We have had guilds kind of crash, but to be fair, it was like so many. I mean, it was before like 2 or 3 years now, and that's even further before Alpha 1. So yeah, there's that. Hello, Laura, welcome in. But I mean, honestly, yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe don't join, but I think they have that whole like trial phase for a reason, right? So you hang out in their Discord and try to hang out with them to see if you like them or not. But then of course there's like, maybe you're treated one way as a guest and another way as a person, a part of that guild. So I don't know. I feel like maybe it's easier to find a guild beforehand so you know who you're hanging out with. But again, this is coming from somebody who's not really ever actually been in a guild. I've been in so many guilds because people just stop playing, and then I have to find another guild, and or I'm like the only one on in my guild in a while. So I ended up like
stinks.
Trying to play with other people, but ended up being solo playing most of the time anyway. So I just kind of gave up and just played MMOs by myself most of the time. But yeah, I guess like from my perspective, just seeing how you vibe with the people that you're interested in joining is important, because who knows, maybe you find your new combat buddy who you and them just synergize really well when in like stressful situations or going out and about, and like they do a thing and then you do a thing that goes really well with it. Like I add a bleed and then you just come up and backstab them out of nowhere. Like, I don't know, something like that. So do you think there'll be Artisans Protection Guild? Maybe, probably. Feeling when you find a guild that raids at times you can't attend and it's full of 14-year-olds. Oh no. Aw, I mean, yeah.
As long as they can do the heroic raids for good.
Hey, I have to get off. I have school in the morning. and Mom said I needed to take the trash out.
Shut up and start taking. Go, 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 go.
Oh man.
Guess we gotta beat this raid real quick then.
My favorite are like people that have parents at home that don't understand MMOs. Like, Mom, I can't just pause the game, and you just like hear them arguing in the background.
I have that.
Lord.
I was lucky. My dad introduced me. Mom, turn out the vacuum while I'm explaining this fight.
My dad understands video game. My mom goes, I live in this house and I will do what I want. I give a flip
Yeah.
what you're doing. And I'm just like, I'm 27. And she's like, and I own half this house. And I was like, okay. Stay in your
Power
house.
play.
And I was like, okay, then stay in your half of the house then, Mom.
Ooh.
You gotta put a tape down the middle then? Just divide it all up?
Dante. Oh my gosh. I grew up with an aggressive mid-game vacuuming. Yeah. All right. Well, I think is that it?
I do
Yeah, I think
believe
so.
so from me. I do want to say thank you everybody for stopping by. Really appreciate
Oops.
you spending your time here.
Wrong place.
Could have been doing anything, including drawing up blueprints to win this glorious gourd contest that I will not be winning. So enjoy your prize.
Enjoy your prize. Final thoughts, OMFGoddess. And again, we are the only person in Ash's Accretion channel, so I gotta find somebody else.
Oh,
You know who's playing New World right now?
Uh-oh.
Aloha. We've never rated Aloha.
Hello. We haven't? Serious?
Yeah, because she's always playing at like early in the morning for us.
My final thoughts are
Oh, Lord.
Oh my gosh.
snacks are delicious. You should eat them.
Ooh, yes,
That's
but
definitely.
in moderation. And
Oh, too close.
or also play games and enjoy them. As a person who I played games competitively for most of my life, some of them I regret, some of them I don't. Sometimes when things become too stressful in a game for you, take a step back, and go, you know what, I'm going to enjoy it for a little bit. Don't punish yourself for it. The game punishes enough already, right? No, I'm just kidding. Well, it kind of does, but like, it's sometimes you need to, if you're constantly working, grinding, playing games, make moments for fun, for sure. Like, while I've been playing New World and grinding and having 4 hours of sleep and stuff like that, right now, people told me I should be grinding materials for my guild while I'm having this interview with you guys, so that I'm being productive 24/7. And I told them, no, I'm gonna stand in town and slash dance and
Nice.
talk to these people, right? So never forget to make time for yourself, even if you're playing with other people. It's very important to, for lack of a better term, clear your mind,
Yeah,
recenter yourself, and I think that's super important.
I agree. I think people should take time for themselves and, make sure their health is good. But alrighty. Well, the raid is counting down. We have a little bit of time left. But yes, like Vertex said, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate you and your time and your viewership and your support. It means a lot. And it keeps the lights on, at least in the tavern.